Now, I am not normally someone that'll go and do videos every time there comes the slightest bit of gaming news. However, there have been some very, very disturbing developments regarding the future of GTA 5 modding over kind of the last 12 or so hours that need to be addressed, that need to be as widely known as possible. As many people need to complain and get onto this as possible, and this is the best way that I know how to kind of reach out and contact as many of you as possible to inform you as to what on earth is going on. Essentially, Take-Two that published GTA 5, not Rockstar themselves, there hasn't been an official word yet from Rockstar, but Take-Two has essentially gone after one of the biggest, most important tools for modding single player of GTA 5. We're not talking about the multiplayer here, we are talking about modding the single player aspect of the game. They've gone after OpenIV, or Open4. Now, this is a mod that has been used for, or kind of a tool for modding that has been used since back in GTA 4. I think it's been around for 10 years now, to allow you to edit the file. So anytime you see a car that is changed in the game, you know, when you're messing around with your Lamborghinis, your Ferraris, your Porsches, and whatever, anytime that you have seen any of them in the game, that's all been done through Open4. Guns, characters, models, maps, and all of that stuff goes through there. And Take-Two have basically, they sent a cease and desist letter to the team that create the mod. Basically said, stop doing it or we will take you to court. Now, as far as I'm aware, from the bit of sort of looking around that I have done, it probably wouldn't stand up in court. They probably couldn't. I mean, Take-Two can, you know, say it's illegal. That doesn't make it the law. The thing is, they have horrendously expensive lawyers. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and a group of modders can't really fight with that. It's just the time and the effort, the many months of sorting and faffing that would go with it. They have, yeah, basically said, okay, we will stop developing it. Not particularly happy about it, but yeah. So Take-Two are trying to kill off Open4, and that's not right. It is a very, very sneaky move on Take-Two part as well regarding the timing of it. Right in the middle of E3, when all of the big gaming websites are far too busy faffing around and, you know, trying to cover as many new games as possible because there's a huge amount of stuff going on. Take-Two are trying to sneak this one under the radar as best as possible. Also, funnily enough, very convenient with it being at the same time the latest GTA 5 DLC has been released. One in which everything costs an utter fortune. Now, the reason why Take-Two would be unhappy with people playing around with single-player mods is nothing to do with the integrity of their games and all of that bollocks. It is to do with the simple fact is that if we are, messing about with stuff in single-player, we can prat around with anything we want. There is a huge amount of stuff that can be modded into here. We might not be playing their multiplayer and spending all of the extra money on the bloody microtransactions to afford the new crap they are trying to give us. The new stuff is, as ever, ridiculously expensive. You want to play around with the gun running stuff? You need $1 million. This is, we're talking GTA, buddy. You need $1 million for a bunker. For the cheapest of bunkers, you need that. You need another further million and a bit for the mobile command center. It's $2 million before you can even start doing any of the bloody mission. The cars are 1, 2, 3, 5 million each. They might not be quite 5 million for the bike, but the cars are horrendously expensive. Yes, you can earn the money yourself. It takes forever. GTA 5 is a horrible grind fest online, and yeah, they are basically just trying to force you to buy more microtransactions, which are horrendously overpriced as it is. It's not like most of us have bought the game 2 or 3 times to begin with. I know certainly I have 3 copies of GTA 5, and I was perfectly happy to have 3 copies up until, well, about 12 hours ago. I have a 361 when it first came out, an Xbox One version, and then I bought the PC one just for modding. Just to mess around with the mods on here. It's the only reason I bothered with it on PC, and I have no doubt, in fact, if people have seen the sort of Nerd Cube's video, he covered this as well. Loads of people have done exactly the same thing. We'll have 2 or 3 copies of this game, with the PC one being just for messing around with, with mods in single player. We're not trying to cheat in the online. I don't give a crap about the online, quite frankly. Yes, there is a problem with modders causing issues with the online. Going after Open4 isn't going to do that. Now, I don't know whether Take-Two are genuinely so stupid that in their attempts to try and tackle the modding problem with online, they just vaguely Googled GTA 5 mods and then went after the biggest ones. I genuinely don't know if that was their plan, or whether it is them trying to be cynical and force you to pay more money for the stuff in the multiplayer. Quite frankly, it could be either, but it's likely to be one of the two there. It's, yeah, terrible. It shouldn't be something that we have to deal with. And for fans of Kerbal Space Program, beware, because Take-Two just bought that. It's not as if Kerbal has had a huge amount of mod support and a huge amount of kind of mod community based around that game. I seem to remember driving a car and trying to roll a car over on another planet with mods. Shame if something like that would be taken away. So, yeah, things are bad. Things are very, very bad indeed. Now, what can we do as a community, as fans of modding games, or playing around with mods? I wish I had the skill to mod games, but well, there are a couple of things, quite frankly, that you can do. In the description of this video, I'm going to link to, there's a petition going around. Whether it will do any good, I don't know, but it's better than nothing. It's something that you can do to try and help. There's a few going around. I will link a couple in here that you can try and sign, get as many signatures as possible on them. I will also link to a I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it, but essentially like a contact Take-Two thing, rather than kind of going through Rockstar themselves. Again, you could, I might find a link to that as well. You can contact Rockstar support and try and get through that way and complain. Take-Two is probably the better bet, because they're the ones that are essentially doing this. If you are going to do that, don't just sort of go shouting and swear. Actually try and be vaguely eloquent with stuff. But just, yeah, complain. Make as much noise as possible. Share the information around. Try and get big gaming websites vaguely interested in it if you can, like the news websites and so on. As many people as possible know about this, can pay attention to this, and have as big a backlash as possible against Take-Two. That is good news. Nerdcubed, I saw, was telling people to go and give GTA 5 a negative review on Steam. If you've got the game on Steam, or you can do that on Steam, go and do that as well. It's it's gone down to having the recent review section has gone down to mix. There's a huge amount of negative reviews flooding in. There are actually now negative reviews going in on Kerbal, and I think Bioshock as well, as the backlash against Take-Two is increasing. I also saw somewhere that Take-Two's stock has actually started to fall. Keep doing that. The more you make a noise about it, the more problems you cause for Take-Two with this, the more likely it is that they will change their mind, and they will do something to stop this, so that we can go back to doing the things that we enjoy. We can go back to playing the games in the way that we want to be playing them. Now, don't go out and start trying to break the multiplayer of this game. Don't go out and trying to... For those of you that may vaguely have the skills to go out and try and break the multiplayer of this game, I would urge you not to, because you try to hold the game to ransom, then they're never going to back down. The whole, don't negotiate with terrorists. You try to hold the game to ransom, and then they will stick to their guns even harder. But just complain. Make noise in other ways to try and tackle this. And then, fingers crossed, we can get back to a normal standing, normal service can resume. Now, for those of you that are watching this video and wondering about my street racing career, probably one of the most popular things that I've done lately, I've been thoroughly enjoying playing through that, and that uses a huge amount of modded, I say a huge amount of modded GTA 5 stuff, actually uses one specific mod for that with a couple of extra stuff. Now, the actual street racing meets that I use do not require Open4. They do, though, require script hook. Basically, all of the mods in GTA 5 will require one of two systems, or it can require a few systems, but there are two main systems for making them work. Open4, which is the one that we are discussing here, the one that's been told to stop, and script hook. Now, the guy that makes script hook, I believe, is part of the Open4 team. I may be wrong about this, but from what I've seen, he is part of that team. Now, there hasn't been any mention of script hook, so I don't know whether that is part of the same thing, because it is slightly separate to Open4. However, whenever a new update for GTA 5 comes out, script hook gets a little bit broken, and they take 2 or 3 days to update it. I don't know if script hook will be updated or not. I don't know whether that is part of this. If script hook does get updated, then the Street Race career can carry on. A couple of extra mods that I use won't be in it. However, the actual drag racing stuff will be around, but that's not really the point of all of this. They shouldn't, Take-Two should not be doing what they are doing. They shouldn't be kind of flexing their muscles in this way, and it is completely and utterly wrong over some greedy microtransactions, or their complete ineptitude, one or the other. Neither way is the correct way to be to be going about things. It's, utterly, utterly terrible. So please go around and make some noise about this, spread the information as far and wide as you can, try and get some attention, and we can stop this utter, utter nonsense.